I was sitting getting ready for this, I overheard Bob behind me saying that he brings his notes up, but he just sits them here and doesn't really refer to them. So I noticed that I do the same thing, but I also at times carry them with me, and it's a distinction on where I feel most comfortable, most practice. So I'm going to carry them with me today. True confessions, or true confession. I often struggle, and I often feel stuck. And sometimes I wonder, is it times like that I'm actually more connected with Spirit? Because I know that I can manifest things in my life. I can manifest prosperity. I can certainly manifest health. And I can manifest energy. Because we live in a physical world. We live in a world that is defined by our senses, by our five senses. And oftentimes these senses, the things that people perceive about us and that we perceive of ourselves, are who we are. The car that I drive, the clothes that I wear, the job that I have, the friends of mine. All of those things describe a 60, middle-aged white man, intelligent, extremely good-looking, Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So when I think of this, I realize that it is the way that we describe ourselves. It may not actually always be accurate. I have to share a story with you. The little red truck that I'm driving now, we call Vic because it was Susan's father, Victor's car. And I was in Vic one day, and I was sitting outside the Cool Bean Cafe, and it's an area that oftentimes is frequented by homeless guys, and a guy came up to my window and knocked on the window, and I rolled it down, and he said, "Hey, you know that the carnival is going to be going on in that parking lot up at Sears." And he said, "I understand they're hiring people, so maybe we should go up and see if we can get a job up there." And I went, "Wow." So he obviously didn't perceive me as I perceive myself. And I realized that spiritual and philosophical writers through the ages have talked about how we live in a dream state, how we live an illusion, that what we see physically is not actually reality. And science is showing us now that's absolutely true, that there are particles and energy and things that we had no clue even existed, that have always been there. And the reason that we know about them now is that the tools are getting better. The instruments that are measured, the instruments that observe these phenomena have gotten more refined to where they can see what has always been there. And I realize that oftentimes in my spiritual path, it feels that same way. As my tools, as my perception becomes clearer, I begin to see that I'm more than my physical body. And one of the ways that this comes to me is through my subconscious mind, this collective creative force that's in all of us. And through my subconscious mind, I hear statements, or I say statements like, I wake up in the morning and I'll say, "Oh, my body aches." And at that moment, I've created a separation between myself and my body. Or if I say, when I die, I want my body to be cremated. Again, I've created this separation between myself and my physical body. A really funny example of this was some time back. I was looking at some photographs of this event that we had at Cool Bean Cafe for Be the Power of One, and I looked at a picture and I said, gosh, who's that old guy talking to Casey Lucas? And then I looked and I went, it's me. And so I realized that there are times when I look in a mirror and I say, that's not me. That's not who I am. That's this physical thing that's not me. So it's my physical presence. It's my physical presence that struggles. My essence knows only balance and harmony. So I may live in this physical form, but I am an energy that's far more powerful. And so it is.
Good job.